Hi, this is Acme with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Vox Markets for Friday, the 10th of June. Starting off with the FTSE 100, just to see where we are in the mix in terms of the stock market. Bull trap through 7,600 for the end of May, beginning of this month, and then we're now back below the 50-day moving average at 75, around 75.10. Below that, looks like it's quite obvious that we'll go and test the 200-day moving average at 73.40-ish, and more likely back to the main 7200 support area of the last month or so. But bearish divergence there in the RSI window with the bull trap, so not looking very good. And we also have the 50-day moving average actually falling already, which can be a leading indicator on a significant move, let's say. So not looking healthy at all. Main support line here, if 7200 goes, is back towards 7000, but I suppose 7,000 is almost the value area for this market, so it'd be surprising if we head back much below that or stay below that area for very long. On to AEX, onto the stocks. And here AEX Gold looking encouraging today with the news that we've had. A nice chart over the last month, or well, actually last 3 months in fact. We had the breakout through that resistance there from at the beginning, the initial 2022 resistance to 36 pence. That means that we can draw a rising trend channel now, which should give us a pretty good target really at the moment, probably towards I suppose even up to the 60 pence area. See that upper parallel there from December up to the 60 pence zone, and that valid while we hold above the low 40s. But that the rally and then the sideways drift and then up again, a very strong pattern indeed. On to Caspian Sunrise, which I believe had a decent RNS a few days ago. Here we've got the 50 and 200-day moving averages both rising. Had a mid-move consolidation and then the breakout through 4.7 pence. And above that, we're looking for a decent target here, as high as 8 or even 9 pence by the end of the next month, as we are in the run-up to a golden cross between the 50 and 200-day moving averages. At this stage, only well below 4 pence, really questioning the ongoing breakout for the shares. Speaking of breakouts, we're Enwell next, and here the breakout is a break of that late October resistance line. We've got a rising 50-day line as well, which is a decent indicator of momentum, higher low therefore May versus February, and holding above the old April resistance at 26 pence. The longer we can do that, the more likely it is for a move up to the 40 pence area and post, well, I suppose basic 2022 highs, maybe as soon as the end of next month. I want to stay above that 23 pence zone, which is the 50-day line. On to a stock which I know a few wise heads are following at the moment, Eco Atlantic. And here we've had a rising trend channel from basically this time last year. Floor of the channel at the 200-day moving average at 27 pence. Above that, we're looking for the top of the channel, quite logically, and the old March peak as high as 43 pence, maybe by the end of next month. A decent momentum trigger, though, would be a weekly close or at least an end-of-day close above the 50-day moving average at 31 pence to get things underway. Moving along to a stock which has been rather difficult over the near term. Guild Esports, and I suppose it seems rather aggressively bullish to suggest that this looks like a turnaround situation, but we've had a break of a trend line there from February. We've managed to hold above the 50-day line at 1.68 for quite some time. That implies that we could get up to the old February resistance and the 200-day moving average around 3.2 pence over the next 6 to 8 weeks, but ideally there's no break back below that 50-day line. Moving on to Galileo, which looks as though it's at the bottom of the trend channel and bounced off it. That trend channel there from November around the penny level. Like to see, I suppose, 1.1 pence broken on a consistent basis, maybe a weekly close basis, so maybe next week, something like that. But if we can do that, then hopefully by the end of next month we're up at 1.4 pence. We're backed by a rising trend line or uptrend line in the RSI window, so that maybe that will also help Galileo take off. Stock which is almost by stealth had a decent rally here. I think we were looking at it quite a lot when it was in the low £2 area, but we've broken the initial target we were looking for, so 280-ish, and above 280 looking for 350, which is that October resistance line projection. maybe as soon as the end of this month. Finishing off with a stock I've avoided quite deliberately for a long time, but maybe things are just changing now for Renalytix. A horrible breakdown there from last summer, but we've broken a trend line there from back in April. There's an unfilled gap to the upside there at the beginning of this month, which is a very handy signal. I wish I noticed that, but gap through the resistance line there from the spring, and the longer we stay above support, or rather resistance on the way down 172, the greater the chance of at least a move up to the 220s, which is basically late April, early May resistance. But that unfilled gap to the upside, a very strong signal over and above the bullish divergence line that we have there in the RSI window. So a couple of plus points there for Renalytix. Maybe it will surprise in terms of the recovery here. First target, I suppose, is, or the first thing that we'd like to see is an end of day close above the 50-day moving average of 197. In fact, today we've had a gap higher, so it's a pretty strong setup over the last week or so. That's it from me today. More updates over the weekend if there's anything to update on.